So, today is another episode of Books Galore and CreatorCore. It is October 12th, 2025. And today I want to talk a little bit about a subject that is very controversial in the author community. And that subject matter is about artificial intelligence. And the reason why I want to discuss it a little bit today is because um, I have been doing a lot of research and studying into AI and various platforms, and also networking and communicating with many different authors um, who feel negatively about AI, as well as with some authors who actually utilize AI in their writing. And the thing that I have noticed the most is that there is a lack of understanding or knowledge about what AI actually does, how it negatively affects the writing community, how it could positively affect the writing community. And for the most part, writers who do not know much about artificial intelligence tend to, across the board, just want nothing to do with it at all. They just sort of vilify the entire idea of artificial intelligence without actively trying to understand the landscape that it is affecting. So, one thing that I want to go into today basically is the types of AI platforms that are being utilized right now, as well as their effect on the writing community. Um, one platform that is actually a form of artificial intelligence that most, I would say not most, but at least many authors have utilized and probably don't realize is a form of artificial intelligence is Grammarly. I've used it many times to edit my work. I've used it many times to just cross check and make sure that, my own punctuation um, and wording is, up to par and in large pieces of or bodies of work that I have written. And I know many other authors that have done that as well. And prior to some of these other artificial intelligence platforms um, becoming prominent, I never thought of Grammarly as a platform um, um, based on artificial intelligence, which, in retrospect, I should have. So that's one thing that I really want to discuss. Like, why why is it that we as writers and in the writing community have not really thought of the certain platforms that we use to sort of edit our work as an aspect of artificial intelligence. Um, and if we were to realize that those platforms are a form of artificial intelligence, would we continue using those platforms? Or would we just, refuse to use those platforms? And then on top of that, there comes just sort of a lack of understanding that, your work is out there on the internet. As long as it is published digitally in any form. Your work is out there on the internet. I have seen many, many of my books on platforms that where I did not publish it simply because they somehow got a hold of my work, whether it was off of Amazon or some other platform, purchased it or downloaded it, and then uploaded it to their platform and they sell it and they make money off of it. And it is available for public consumption outside of my permission. Um, and I've seen that happen many times, and that's, human beings doing that, not even artificial intelligence. But on top of that, just the fact that it is easily available to the public, what we know about AI now is that AI actually combs the internet. It peruses the internet in order to learn certain topics. And if those books, if my books, if your books are on any public platform that an artificial intelligence might access, then your work has already been scraped. It's already been, um, what's the word? Reaped. I'm not sure what the word would be, but it definitely is able to be located and utilized by AI platforms, um, who are using, the work of writers such as myself, such as, other writers in the community in order to learn and create works, you know, randomized works, of similar nature, right? So it's almost a question as to what can, even if we wanted to stop that, what could we even do to stop that? And I think, um, there may be there may be one or two methods. One method that I have seen that has stopped some AI platforms is putting your work behind a paywall. um, I've noticed because just in terms of the popular AI platforms that are out there right now, of which ChatGPT is the foremost. These AI platforms, and there are others. There's platforms similar to ChatGPT. There's Gemini. There's Claude. There's Manus, and I'm certain there are many other AI platforms that are becoming readily available. And all of these platforms have the ability to search the internet, to, comb websites, to basically pull data that is not behind some type of a wall, freely and easily, and access that information. And so, because of this, if your work is published anywhere, I know that many times I have published my own work on my website just for people to read. I've posted it on my blog, on my website, a chapter, two, three, four, five, just for humans, to read and show interest in my work and possibly, hopefully, purchase, right? So if there are any other authors that have done that, and I know of my own favorite author, Michelle Segarra West, who has done the same, then it's very easy for artificial intelligence to get a hold of that information and get a hold of that writing and use it for its learning process. So, again, what can be done to stop an artificial intelligence from using your work if it is publicly available? And I would say that if it's publicly available, there's not much you can do. There's probably not anything you can do, to stop that from happening. If you have published your work, um, digitally in any form on any public website that any human can get to without a paywall, then so can AI. AI can get to it too. Um, Now, what I have noticed, because I have utilized ChatGPT to do sort of mathematical computations, assist me with, creating ads, ad campaigns. I've never utilized it to write any books because I just don't have it. For me, when I have seen, I can tell not even almost, I can tell immediately when an AI has written something. The tone is very formulaic. And so I just would not ever use ChatGPT to write a book. It has a very inhuman feel to it. Um, but I have used it for other things, such as, writing um, um, ad copies for ad campaigns in order to sell products, whether it was a sweatshirt, whether it was a t-shirt, whether it was, any other type of product. I have utilized AI for that purpose. Um, but in terms of trying um, to do research and perform research, I have actually looked into and tried to discover if it was possible for AI to go, to research, say like news topics, things like that. And one thing that, in my study and research of AI, I have noticed is that ChatGPT specifically, and I'm not certain about other platforms because I've not tried to do this research on other platforms, but ChatGPT specifically has difficulty with paywalls. It cannot see behind paywalls. So if an author wanted to protect their work and they wanted to make their work readily available to humans to read, I would say that the best way to protect their work for the moment, because, in the future that might not even be a barrier at all. But for the moment, it would be, I would say, to put it behind a paywall. And there are sites that put, put certain writing behind paywall. I myself I'm on Medium. There are articles that I've written on there, some of them edited with the assistance of AI, and some of them, just simply written uh, organically. And um, I think that if anybody wanted to put their work out there, if they wanted to publish their work digitally, or if they just wanted to, put a few chapters of their work for people to read, the safest way to do that would be to publish it basically on a site like Medium, where it is behind a paywall. So I also believe that the writing community has been so up in arms about AI that they have done little to sort of research into it to know exactly what it does. It's almost like there's this wall, this antagonized um, resistance towards anything AI at all. And I think that's unfortunate. And the reason why I think that's unfortunate is because AI is taking over. And I know that sounds very dramatic. It sounds very, conspiratorial. And unfortunately, it is true. I'm aware at this moment just how many jobs are actually being lost within just, 2025, um, to, um, AI basically being utilized instead of humans to fulfill tasks and positions, um, that humans would normally fulfill. For example, if you are, say, an accountant, AI can do that. If you're an editor, AI can do that. If you are a designer of, let's say, a designer of images for clothing, AI can do that now. AI can now create book covers, images for book covers, paintings. There's an entire community, in the art community, that is constantly upset about the fact that AI is taking over and creating art in a way that they feel is inorganic, right? And at the same time, AI can do that as well. And it's unfortunate that it is doing away with all of these, human created, um, positions and designs. And at the same time, it's happening whether we like it or not. And I would think that, as 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 people who would want to be educated about the dangers of losing their position, you would want to look into and research exactly what AI is. What does AI do? What are the capabilities that it has, right? I think that's extremely important, and that's pretty much why I have dedicated myself to doing this research, at least for myself, because I want to know, um, what areas will it take over? What areas are my own skills in danger? What can I do to get ahead of the curve? So I would say, just in general, it's extremely important, especially for the writing community, especially for the art community, to, yes, um, I understand that there is still this feeling of being up in arms about AI. And at the same time, I think that you need to look into what AI is doing, because it's going to take over so many positions that you need to have the knowledge, have the forewarning to know what actions you're going to take when it happens, when those positions are gone, because they will be gone very soon. So, and this is some of the discussions that I'm going to be having in the future on the platform. I'm going to be bringing this topic to other authors, other writers, other editors, other content creators, and just sort of bringing this into awareness. It's a topic that I think that really, really, really needs to be, uh, under the spotlight. So, if anybody has any questions, or even just has any thoughts about AI, please leave your thoughts in the comments. I would enjoy getting back to you. We're going to be talking more about AI and its effects on the writing community and just on the artist community in the future. And to anybody who has been listening, I thank you for joining in. I'm Kay, and I ask that you please join us next week for Books Galore and Creator Core. as we come back, probably with more topics on AI and just how the future of writing is changing. So, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.